All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the practice test for the factoring unit. This test looks exactly like the test is going to look like with different numbers. So when I give you the prime numbers here at the top, you will have that available to you on your test as well. Let's do problems 1 through 4 in this section of this video. We'll do all of part 1. So problem number 1 says to write the prime factors for 14c minus 18. And so it's listed 14c, and so you just need to write out all of the prime number factors. So you're going to need to make your factor tree. So we start at the top with a 14. 14 is an even number, so it's divisible by 2. And if you divide 14 by 2, you're left with 7. So 2 and 7 are the prime numbers, and the other factor is c. Factors of 14c are 2, 7, and c. Then we need to find the factors of 18. So we make our factor tree again. Oh, it erased my 7 there. So 18 is at the top. It's an even number, which means we can factor out a 2. 2 times 9 gives us 18. And 9 can be factored into 3 and 3. So our factors of 18 are 2, 3, and 3. Then we need to find the greatest common factor. So we circle the factors that they have in common. They only have one factor in common, which is a 2. So we write that next to GFC. And then it says factor out the GFC, or the greatest common factor. So we put the 2 out front. And then we put the leftovers in parentheses. So we have a leftover 7c. And then we have a leftover 3 times 3, which is 9. So our answer is 2 times 7c plus 9. Let's look at number 2. All right, it's x times y squared plus y. We're going to write out all of the prime factors for x, y squared. So there are no numbers here, so we just write out each letter, the number of times it occurs in that term. So you have x times y times y. Y is just a prime by itself, right? So it's just the y. We circle the factors that they have in common. They both have a y. So our greatest common factor is y. The directions say factor out the GFC, so we put the y out front. And then we put the leftovers in parentheses. We have a leftover x and a y from the first part. So we write xy. And in the second part, we don't have any leftovers. We factored out the y from y. So we have to write a 1 there. We don't want to leave it blank. We don't want to change it to a 0, but we do want to put a 1 there as a placeholder, because 1 times y equals y. And you can check that by distributing why 0 wouldn't work. You would take y times xy. That would give you xy squared, which is what we started with. And y times 1 gives us plus 1. If that 1 was a 0, we'd have a 0 there, not a y. All right, look at number 3. We need to write out the prime factors for 16a and 8a to the third. So let's do 16 first. So 16 is an even number, so we factor out a 2 and an 8. 8 is not a prime number, and it's also even, so we can factor out another 2. 2 times 4 gives us 8. And 4 is not a prime number. And if you're not sure if a number is prime, they're right up here at the top of your paper, and they're also written on the whiteboard up front. So 4 is not a prime number. You get 4 if you multiply 2 by 2. So 16 in prime factors is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. There's 4 2's there. And then an A. Next, we're going to factor out the 8, or we're going to factor the 8. So we'll write another factor tree with an 8. Now, you'll notice we just did 8 as part of 16, right? When we factored the 2 out of 16, we had an 8. So our factor tree for 8 is this part right here. It's 2 times 2 times 2. And then it's a to the third, which means we have 3 a's, like that. Now we just circle the factors that they have in common. So they both have 3 2's, and they both have 1 a. So my greatest common factor is 2 times 2 times 2 times a, and that equals 8a. So to factor out the greatest common factor, we put the 8a out front. All the leftovers go in parentheses. For 16a, our only leftover is a 2, so we write a 2 down there. And for our 8a cubed, our leftovers are 2a's, so we would just write a squared. So the factored form here is 8a times 2 plus a squared. Last one, number 4, we have 7xy plus 21x squared y. So we write our prime factors first. 7 is a prime number already, so we don't have any other factors for that. And then an x and a y. 21x squared y, so 21 is not a prime number, so we make a factor tree for it. You also have a factor table on the back page of your packet. So 21 is the same as 3 times 7. Those are our factors. So we write 3 times 7 times x because it's x squared. And it's also y squared, so we have times y times y. Next step, we circle the things they have in common. Both of them have a 7. Both of them have an x. Both of them have a y. So their common factors are 7, x, and y. Now we factor that greatest common factor out. So 7xy goes in front of the parentheses. The leftovers go in the middle. For 7xy, we used all of the factors. There are no leftovers, but we need to put that 1 there in order to multiply something by 7xy to get 7xy. So we use a 1 as a placeholder. And then our leftovers for 21x squared y are 3. I should use a different color here. Hold, please. 3xy. There you go. 3xy. All right, guys, good job. Make sure you're understanding that. If you have any questions, ask one of us to help you so that you are ready for your test.